Following on from my look at PS1 demo discs, the next logical step is to look at demos you'd find for the PS2. Just like my previous video, I'll go through a few discs, giving my memories and opinions on them. Just like the PS1, the PS2 came with a demo disc which had some games to play and videos to watch. This one's got 6 demos to play and 8 videos to watch on the disc. Now, the back of the case lists the games and videos, but it's a complete lie. Some of the demos listed are just videos. Sly Raccoon is just a video to watch, and Alpine Race 3 is nowhere to be seen. Not impressed. Anyway, let's look at what is actually on here and start with Stuntman. Here you get one level from the game, one of the Indiana Jones inspired ones where you drive around a Jeep in Egypt. Now, this isn't the hardest level from the final game, but it is one of the later ones. I really think they should have put an easier one on the disc, as it certainly annoyed some players back then. To add to the annoyance, the load times are even slower than the final game, so you'll be waiting for what seems like an age reloading the level trying it again. If you want a more in-depth look at Stuntman series, take a look at my retrospective on it. Next up we've got Tekken 4, a great fighting game. You can select between 2 characters and you fight your way through 5 stages. Now, usually I'm terrible at fighting games, but these bots were really easy. I've always had a soft spot for Tekken, and it was nice to revisit an older title in the series, even in demo form. Finally, here's Formula 1 2002. I like my racing games, but F1's just a bit too fast paced and precise for me. The handling is super sensitive. This one was funny to play just to hear Murray Walker commentating on the racing, giving out lines you'd hear from Alan Partridge.
This is classic racing!
Here's another disc that came with some models of the PS2. I think it's a bit older than the previous one. On here there's 4 playable demos and 4 videos, so a lot less content than the previous disc. First up, here's Dynasty Warriors 2. You've got 3 players to select from and 5 minutes to play through a level. Now, 5 minutes is nowhere near enough to get a good experience of the game, so you'll have to be quick on your feet to progress. It's great to see one of the earlier games in the Dynasty Warriors series. It's quite sad to see how stale the main series has become. Also, here's MotoGP. I remember watching the replays on some of the MotoGP games thinking, wow, this looks almost real. I'm glad the track they included is a demo of Donington Park, as it's a local track to where I live. Now, we can't talk about demo discs for the PS2 without talking about official PlayStation 2 Magazine. One of these beauties would be posted to me every month alongside the magazine. There was something so special coming home from a day at school to read it end to end and then trying out some of the great games included on the disc. The discs not only contained demos and game videos, but also had interesting extras like behind the scenes on certain games, competitions for best goals on Pro Evolution Soccer, and even game saves you can download to your memory card. This is the first one I ever owned, and the first game I played on it was Splinter Cell. Now, this was a special moment. Walking forward on that first level as Sam Fisher was amazing. The detail in the environments was great and the lighting was something unlike anything I've seen before. It's a real shame I never really got on with stealth games. Another title included was Time Splitters 2. Again, this blew me away and I was instantly a fan. You get to play through the first level as you blast past enemies and zombies and make your way through the dam. Again, check out my retrospective of the Time Splitters series. Finally, on this disc we have Dr. Muto, a cracking platforming game where you can morph into different creatures to progress through the game. Definitely one to check out if you see it on the cheap. Here we have a slightly newer version of the magazine's demo disc. This is where they really cleaned up the demo disc menu and added cool things like challenges for different games and game saves to download. This is Earache Extreme Metal Racing. Now, I love me some metal music and heavy metal aesthetic, but this game is just awful. This must be one of the worst handling racing games I've ever played, and I've played Sonic R. Lastly, here's Fight Night Round 3. Now, I had all but forgotten about the Fight Night series, and revisiting it now made me realise just how fun and satisfying it is. Now, most of my experience of the game comes from the Xbox 360 version, but this one is good too. In the demo, you get to fight your way through 4 rounds, and the challenge really is to get a technical knockout before the end of the 4th round. After playing this one, I think I'm going to have to revisit Fight Night Champion on the 360, and hope that EA takes a break from UFC and revisits this awesome series.